So recently I've been consuming ungodly amounts of content on YouTube, but not quite for the reasons you might think. I found a space on YouTube that's so goofy I was instantly hooked. That's right, I'm talking about goddamn chair channels. Just like you're probably sitting in a chair, so am I. So are likely over 1 billion people worldwide. But are you comfortable? Do you feel supported? Rested? Or do you feel like your spine is about to be launched through the top of your skull? Because about a month ago, I realized my $60 generic office chair wasn't just bad, it was actively hostile. I shit you not, my lower back felt like it was guest starring in one of those YouTube hydraulic press videos, except instead of crushing an iPhone or a rubber duck, it was my spine getting obliterated by 30,000 tons. So I caved, I went looking for a better chair on Amazon. Then immediately realized I know absolutely nothing about chairs. I sit on them, that's about it. So like a totally sane and well-adjusted person, I googled best chair YouTube. And that's when I fell headfirst into the rabbit hole of chair content. As far as I know, you have 2 channels at the top really, Honestly and BTOD TV. Guys don't just review chairs, they live chairs. They test them, compare them, judge them, kinda with the intensity of a Michelin critic evaluating soup. But like with any review content on the internet, a question lingers. Can you actually trust them? Let's be real, most of these creators rely on affiliate links. You click a link, buy a chair, they get paid. Simple. So now you're wondering, are these reviews legit or am I being sold to with extra steps? To give you a short answer, it's kinda yes and no. For instance, Honestly seems to have a personal passion for chairs. He has done several hour-long videos and longer explaining what chairs to buy at certain price points. And then there's BTOD TV, who actually run a chair business. So yeah, they have skin in the game. Promoting certain chairs obviously benefits them more. But even then, they've built a solid rep for transparency. You'll watch a BTOD TV video and have learned something. And I think that's the most important thing. And look, I'm not saying either channel is perfect, I'm just laying a foundation for you. However, there is absolutely one thing that every single chair channel, well, reputable chair channel can agree on. That's gaming chairs suck.
Hey, G-Bench, something this! Yeah!
Do you by chance own one of these? How about one of these? What about one of these? So let's get into it. And to start, I'm gonna steal Gamer Nexus's statistics because I can't be to do my own research. In 2020, yes, that year, they sold over 1.2 million units of these types of chairs on Amazon. And with more people working at home than ever, 1.2 million people decided that yes, the gaming chair is the one I want because I like gaming. Oh, the poor souls.
But if they're so bad, why are people buying them?
Shut up, little Timmy, and listen, it's all marketing. The first tactic, the good old sponsoring influencers. Have you ever seen your favorite streamer sitting in what looks like a flashy, oversized, and somehow ultra comfortable chair? Some would say it's even massive. And then you think, hey, if they enjoy it, I must too, right? Oh look, a convenient place link to the exact chair in the description. Oh, 10% off, wow. A lot of these streamers are literally being paid to sit, and no, that's not a joke. Companies will throw money at them just to be on camera in one of those chairs. Sounds dumb, but at the same time it's kinda genius. I mean, like, sure, most people know it's sponsored. Sponsored content is everywhere. Your nan probably knows what a brand deal is at this point. But here's the catch, it's not just about the ad. It's about the
implication.
That implication being, this must be a great chair, pros use it, streamers use it, maybe it'll make me better too. Which, I mean, let's be real, how's a chair gonna fucking make you better at a game? No, you just suck, man. The second tactic that you see a lot of these companies use is sponsoring esports events. On the stage where the pinnacle of gamers and FaZe compete with each other in high-stakes showdowns, what do they happen to be sitting on? Companies like DX Racer and Secret Labs pay handsomely to showcase their chairs. And kinda playing on what we were saying before, it creates the implication that if you want to do what these guys do, you need to own one of these. And sure, it's the same point we made before, but I need the watch time. Anyway, this brings us to our final point, and that's gamer culture. Secret Lab, they're gonna get mentioned a fair bit, uses phrases like the official chair of champions, award-winning comfort for pro gamers and creators, trusted by the world's best players, to position their chairs in the market as more than just furniture. They're symbols of elite performance, success, and belonging within the gaming community. Associating their products with champions, awards, and top-tier players, Secret Lab isn't just selling comfort, they're selling the dream of being part of that winning circle. And this is just marketing that taps into that psychology of gamer identity, where owning the same gear as pros or streamers becomes a form of validation and aspiration. It's not about how well the chair supports your spine, it's about how it supports your status. The problem is, these chairs don't support your spine. They're modeled after racing seats. You know, the things meant to keep you in place whilst you're pulling high Gs in corners and sometimes crashes. They're not exactly built for comfort. And bringing back Gamers Nexus, they did an amazing video like a year ago explaining all this, so I honestly just watched that video. I'm not going to be able to provide any sort of value that they can't. I'm just one guy, man. I'm just one guy. But anyway, I hope you get the point I'm trying to make. These chairs have just been heavily marketed to a certain demographic with false promises whilst providing a subpar, overpriced product. And hey, I'm not saying you can't enjoy your racing chair, just know you're not getting the best value for money in terms of performance. The one thing they do have over ergonomic office chairs is branding and collaborations. They've collaborated with IPs like Mortal Kombat, The Witcher, Harry Potter, Minecraft, World of Warcraft, Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed, and you know that one DC movie, Birds of Prey? Yeah, if you don't, I don't blame you. Is it worth overspending on a subpar chair just because it has Star Wars on it? I mean, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about what actually makes a good chair, because it turns out Chair YouTube has some rules, and if you ignore them, your spine will file for divorce, and probably take the house. When you watch enough of these videos, you start to notice the same phrases over and over again. Stuff like adjustability is king, lumbar support is non-negotiable, and my personal favorite, mesh saves lives. The real good chairs, they're basically the ones that shapeshift around you. Like the kind that let you tweak every part. I'm talking seat height, armrest angle, back tilt, lumbar pressure, all until it feels like the chair was built for your weirdly specific proportions. And then there's the material, right? Mesh chairs, kinda ugly to some people, I kinda like them, but they're breathable as hell. You're not gonna get swamp ass after long sessions. Foam chairs, sure, they'll feel super soft at first, but if it's cheap foam, it's gonna go flat faster than your enthusiasm mid-Zoom call. And then there's leather, usually it's fake, and oh my god, they just peel. So it just becomes a sadness chair. You're just looking at it, you just feel sad. It seems watching these channels, one of the biggest things they all shout about is lumbar support. If your chair isn't helping your lower back, it's basically mugging your spine every time you sit down. Although, there are some of those chairs with the little plastic lumps pretending to be lumbar support, which honestly they just feel a bit pokey. But you know, some other ones, they let you move the support up, down, in, out, so it actually fits your back. Those are the ones worth caring about. And before you say, no, the fucking pillow that the gaming chairs come with, that's not lumbar support.
You need to shut the fuck up!
And now let's get on to pricing. Sure, gaming chairs are super expensive, or can be super expensive, but some are actually quite affordable. And then even the expensive gaming chairs, when comparing them to Herman Miller's and Steelcase chairs, they seem cheap. I mean, a Herman Miller Aeron, a new one anyway, goes for $1,300. That's kinda crazy. And that's before you start adding all the little optional bits, like headrests and whatnot. There is a trick though. If you go to office liquidation sites or even looking on eBay, you can find them for about $300 to $400. Turns out, when companies go bust, their overpriced ergonomic chairs hit the secondhand market like fallen royalty. You can save up to $1,000 just by buying one that's had its arse already broken in by a stressed out accountant. Slightly used, slightly haunted, but your spine won't care. And sure, if you're super weirded out by having someone else's booty juices in your seat, you can always go with a refurbished one. Because I mean, let's be real, you're not gonna get ergonomic salvation for £50 on Amazon. No matter how many X's are in the name or how much it looks like a race car. You're not winning any races, you're just slowly compressing your lumbar disc into oblivion. Weirdly, when you spend time in this little chair review corner of YouTube, you kinda get it. Because after a while, you stop thinking of a chair as just the thing you sit on, and more like the thing that holds my entire skeleton together for 8 hours a day. So I mean, looking at these racing chairs, sure, it's cheap, it's fast, it's quick. But you know, to have a fulfilling meal, you're not gonna eat McDonald's. You're gonna eat a steak. And that's exactly what a Herman Miller chair, or a steel case chair, or even one of the Chinese imported ergonomic chairs are. So yeah, I mean, steak is kind of better than a McDonald's burger, don't you agree? So yeah, chairs. I never thought I'd care this much about what I park my ass on every day, but here we are. And turns out, there's a whole microculture of people passionately reviewing, testing, ranking, and sometimes straight up worshipping chairs. And honestly, I kinda get it now. I kinda went into my search for a chair just thinking I'd watch 1 or 2 videos. Now I'm judging strangers' chairs in the background of their YouTube videos like I'm some kind of fucking lumbar detective. Sitting in a gaming chair with no tilt tension control? That's crazy. But that's the magic of ChairTube. It ropes you in with promises of a better posture and then hits you with a 45-minute breakdown of mesh density and backrest angles, and somehow, I'm hooked. So if you were like how I was, in pain, uncomfortable, or you're just deeply curious about what strangers on YouTube think the perfect seat looks like, pull up a Herman Miller, or a knockoff, or even a weird Swedish import with no vowels in the name, and join us. Because once you enter this world, you'll never sit the same way again.